Hello, welcome to Old Nerd Reads His Marvel Comics in Order. This is episode 31. And this time, this is the very first, earliest issue of Amazing Spider Man in my collection. This is Amazing Spider Man 156, the May 1976 issue. Before we get started, as a special toast to the first issue of Amazing Spider Man, I'll have a little swig of this RC Cola. You'll have to forgive me. I'm drinking it from a glass with a Pepsi logo on it. I love RC Cola. And this comic is not in the best condition. The cover is pretty rough. It's all intact and everything, but it's been well loved for certain. This issue's probably fine plus. Fine condition. Not bad though. I don't remember why I went back and purchased, I think I got a collection. I picked up a collection a few years ago and it had some issues of Amazing Spider-Man from, this might even be like the earliest one in it. And I think what I did was I filled in from this issue on. So like I basically have every issue of Amazing Spider-Man from here on out. I think. We'll find out as we go through this project of reading my Marvel Comics in order. This issue was written by Len Wein, drawn by Ross Andru. Mike Esposito did the inks. Glynis Wein colored it. And the letterer is Gaspar. I don't know who that is. I don't remember seeing that credit given to a letterer before. So I don't know if that's like a pseudonym. I know Marvel sometimes would do that if they had several people doing one job on an issue. So maybe several people lettered this and they just called it Gaspar. But maybe Gaspar is a person. I don't know. The thing about this issue, I am not real familiar with Ross Andru's art. I guess he had a pretty long run on Amazing Spider-Man in the 70s. And at this point, I think it's close to coming to an end, maybe. We'll figure it out as we go here. But he draws a great Spider-Man, I think. I think his style of Spider-Man is fantastic. Here's something that was a blast from the past. I'd totally forgotten about Peter Parker renting this apartment where Mrs. Muggins was his landlady. She was an old curmudgeon. I've totally forgotten about her until I read this issue, and that was a nice surprise to see her again. This shady character, I guess, according to the letters page, he's shown up a few times, a few issues before this, here and there, and this issue we're finally going to figure out what his secret identity is. This bum. Now everybody's getting ready for... Oh, this issue is the marriage of Betty Brant and Ned Leeds. So on this page, everybody's getting ready for the wedding. J. Jonah Jameson up top. He remembers he has to wear a smile to complete his outfit for the wedding. Flash Thompson, Aunt May, and Anna Mae Watson, Mary Jane's aunt, I believe. And here we have Liz Allen. And here we have Robbie Robertson and his family. And here's Peter Parker. He isn't out yet, of course, because that's Peter Parker. Kung Fu karate. Big in the 70s. Kung Fu fighting. Of course, Peter, he does not know how to tie a bow tie, but luckily Mary Jane shows up and gives him a hand. Flirts with him a little bit. And then they head to Morgan's of Malvern. Apparently, I'm guessing this is a real place in New York City or near New York City, a venue for weddings and receptions and whatnot. This must be a very swanky place. Many weddings are taking place here, I guess, all at the same time. Not only the Leeds and Brant wedding, but several others. The main lobby, a huge chandelier, which is going to play a part in the story later. Peter, he's been out web slinging all night and hasn't had a chance to eat. And just as he's about to get a bite to eat, well, the wedding started. He can't eat. The wedding gets going. Everybody's in attendance. Jay Jonah, Aunt May, Robbie Robertson, Norman Osborn, or Harry Osborn, Betty Brant. But in typical Spider-Man luck, this wedding venue is going to get robbed by a villain named the Mirage and his henchmen. And they go and rob all the wedding parties. They go through all the different rooms in this venue and make everybody hand over their valuables. And of course, finally, eventually, they get to where Spider-Man is. J. Jonah Jameson is going to be a tough guy until he's got a pistol shoved up his nose. Peter's got to figure out how he's going to sneak out and become Spider-Man. Luckily, he's got his web shooters on. He's got his costume underneath his tux. He douses the lights and changes, and then a big multi-page fight ensues between Spidey, the Mirage, and his henchmen. Spidey doesn't have much trouble with the henchmen. Here's our value stamp this issue. Looks like the Hulk. And Spidey takes care of the Mirage's henchmen pretty handily, pretty easily. But the Mirage proves to be a little bit more difficult. He is casting 3D mirages of himself, which fool Spider-Man into attacking nothing. And he's able to keep this up until Spidey figures out how to use that chandelier we saw earlier. Brings it down right on top of him. And that's the end of that. Oh, I thought this was interesting. Since there's so many ads for kung fu lessons and whatnot in these old comics from the 70s, I thought it was neat that in Stan's soapbox, he's talking about the comic conventions going on in 1976. And in this one, Chuck Norris was a guest at one of the cons and demonstrating martial arts skills. I thought that was pretty neat. This Hostess ad with Daredevil is the only one this month. All the other ones have Spider-Man, I think, that I have anyway. All the issues that I have from this month, I'll have Spider-Man starring in the Hostess Cupcakes ad, but this one has, since it's a Spider-Man story, I guess maybe they wanted to put Daredevil in. But anyway, so not to confuse people, but yeah, Daredevil is in this one. But now that Spidey's taking care of the Mirage, the police have come and hauled him off. He's made excuses as to what he was up to during the melee. He ran out to call the police, of course, and blah, 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 and tricks everybody. And Ned and Betty get married, and Betty tosses her bouquet, and Aunt May catches it. And she goes home, and we find out now that this bum has broken into her house, and it's Dr. Octopus back from the dead. I don't know off the top of my head what the story is here, since this is the earliest issue of Amazing that I have. Apparently, Dr. Octopus was thought dead, but he's not. And he goes back to him, and Aunt May almost got married at one point back in the day. And it's funny that Aunt May caught the bouquet. She goes home, and there's her old fiance back from the dead. And that's the cliffhanger for this issue. So like I said, I think I pretty much have all the Amazing Spider-Mans after this. So we'll be able to follow the story handily. Won't be missing out on any scintillating details, as Stan Lee might say. If anybody has any information about prior events to this issue that would enlighten me or any other watchers of this video, please comment down below. I'd like to thank you for watching. I've got a long ways to go in this project of reading my Marvel comics in order. I'm taking them week by week. I'm reading them in release date order. So stick around. We're going to go through them all. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.